The Eastern Front of World War II was a theater unlike any other. A colossal clash between the European Axis powers and the Soviet Union. The scale of battles was immense, with both sides suffering staggering losses. Stalin's Soviet Union, initially caught off guard, faced a series of setbacks. German forces seemed unstoppable, advancing deep into Soviet territory. Cities fell, and the situation looked bleak for the Red Army. But the Soviets were resilient. Under Stalin's leadership, they regrouped and strategized. The siege of Leningrad was a testament to their determination. For 900 days, the city endured, surrounded by enemy forces. Yet, the spirit of its defenders never wavered. The Red Army's counter-offensives began to turn the tide. Crossing the Dnieper was a significant milestone. By December, they were on the outskirts of Kiev, launching artillery barrages on the German southern armies. Despite the harsh winter and relentless German resistance, the Soviets pushed on. Their advances created a wide breach, disrupting communication between the German central and southern armies. By spring, the German position in Ukraine was precarious. Key cities like Odessa and Sebastopol fell to the Red Army. The Eastern Front was shifting. The Soviets, once on the defensive, were now leading the charge. Their advances were not just a military triumph but a symbol of hope and resilience. As the war's momentum shifted, the Soviets set their sights on broader horizons. The liberation of Leningrad was a significant morale boost. After enduring for 900 days, the city was finally free, marking a turning point in the war. Stalin's strategy was clear. Push the Germans back, reclaim lost territory, and liberate the oppressed. The focus shifted to Belarus, a region critical for both its strategic and symbolic value. But the Soviets weren't the only ones making moves. The Allies' D-Day invasion in Normandy meant Germany was now fighting on two fronts. This split in resources was a boon for the Red Army. In Belarus, the Soviets scored a significant victory. The German Ninth Army was defeated, with a staggering 70,000 soldiers captured. The relentless push continued, with the Red Army reclaiming territory and pushing the Germans back. Estonia was next. After a rapid advance of over 600 kilometers, the Soviets expelled the Germans from the Baltic states. Poland's liberation was now on the horizon. In the south, the Red Army's grip tightened. Ukraine was under complete Soviet control, and the march moved to Romania. Germany's allies were beginning to falter, and the Axis was on the back foot. The Eastern Front was a testament to the Red Army's determination and strategy. From facing near defeat to pushing the enemy back on all fronts, the Soviets showcased their military prowess and resilience. The war's tide was unmistakably turning against the Axis powers. Warsaw, Poland's capital, became a focal point. With the Red Army nearing, the Polish resistance saw an opportunity. They rose against the German occupiers, hoping for a swift liberation with Soviet assistance. However, the situation became dire. Logistical challenges and German counterattacks halted the Red Army's advance. The Polish resistance, left to fend for themselves, faced the might of elite German SS troops. The outcome was tragic. Warsaw was devastated, with 250,000 civilians executed. Yet, the Red Army's march was relentless. By January 1945, they were at Warsaw's gates. Outnumbering the Germans 10-1 in men and machinery, the Soviets began their final push. The Operation Annibal saw the evacuation of German civilians and military personnel. But the Red Army's advance was unstoppable. Auschwitz, the infamous concentration camp, was liberated, revealing the horrors of the Holocaust to the world. Berlin, the heart of Nazi Germany, was now in the crosshairs. The battle for Berlin would be the climax of the Eastern Front. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the German defense was fierce. Young boys from the Hitler Youth and elderly men were conscripted, showcasing the desperation of the Nazi regime. The city witnessed intense street-to-street combat, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Inside the besieged city, Hitler's end was near. Marrying Eva Braun and then choosing to end their lives, the Führer's demise marked the symbolic end of Nazi Germany. Other high-ranking Nazi officials followed suit, leaving a leadership vacuum. The Red Army's victory in Berlin was a testament to their sacrifices and determination. The city's capture marked the end of the war on the Eastern Front. Germany was on the brink of total defeat, and the Soviets were at the forefront of this monumental victory. With Berlin's fall, the war in Europe was drawing to a close. The Allies met in Potsdam to decide the fate of post-war Germany. The nation was to be divided, with the Soviets taking the eastern part, including Berlin. This division would sow the seeds for the Cold War, as tensions between the Soviet Union and the Western Allies grew. The aftermath of the war was profound. Germany lost significant territories. East Prussia was divided between Poland and the Soviet Union. The Saar region, a major coal reserve, was initially declared a European free zone. However, its citizens later chose to rejoin Germany. In total, Germany lost a quarter of its pre-Hitler annexation territories. The Sudetenland returned to Czechoslovakia, and Austria was declared an independent nation once more. Though for a time, it remained occupied by the victorious nations. Germany itself was divided. The US, the UK, and France unified their zones, forming West Germany. The Soviet-occupied region became East Germany. This division would last until the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. In Eastern Europe, the war's end brought significant political changes. Monarchies in Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary ceased to exist, with these nations falling under the Soviet sphere of influence. Yugoslavia saw power transition to war hero Josip Broz Tito. Yet, despite their significant role in the war's victory, Soviet soldiers remained largely unknown in the West. The Soviet regime's secrecy kept many of their stories hidden. Soldiers were forbidden from keeping diaries, and many of their accounts were lost to time. What was known was often mythologized, especially the tales of Soviet snipers in Stalingrad. The Soviet portrayal of its soldiers was of perfect heroes. Stories of fear, atrocities, or even simple human behaviors like swearing were censored. The state-controlled narrative allowed only for tales of bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering loyalty. The Eastern Front was a testament to the horrors of war and the resilience of the human spirit. Its lessons are a reminder of the importance of understanding history, lest we repeat its tragedies. The ripple effects of the Eastern Front's conclusion were felt far and wide. The Cold War era dawned, with the world essentially divided between the Western Bloc led by the United States and the Eastern Bloc led by the Soviet Union. The Iron Curtain descended, splitting Europe both ideologically and physically. The Berlin airlift, a few years later, would further highlight the growing chasm between the former Allies. Berlin, the epicenter of the war's end in Europe, became a symbol of Cold War tensions. The city, divided into East and West, was a microcosm of the larger global divide. In the East, the Soviet Union sought to consolidate its influence. Warsaw Pact nations, including East Germany, Poland, and Hungary, were firmly under Moscow's grip. Attempts to break free, like the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, were brutally suppressed. Yet, beneath the surface, the memories of the war lingered. Veterans returned home, many bearing physical and emotional scars. The Soviet state celebrated their victories but often overlooked the individual traumas and stories. Many heroes of the Eastern Front faded into obscurity, their tales untold due to state censorship. The narrative of the war was carefully curated. Soviet soldiers were depicted as flawless heroes in literature and art. Yet, the reality was more nuanced. Many had faced unimaginable horrors, made difficult choices, and lived with the consequences. The Soviet Union's eventual collapse in 1991 opened the door to a re-evaluation of its history. Archives were unsealed, and personal accounts emerged, painting a more complete picture of the Eastern Front. The sacrifices of the Red Army were undeniable, but so were the complexities of their experiences. In the end, the Eastern Front stands as a testament to the resilience of nations and individuals. Its legacy is a reminder of the costs of war and the importance of peace. As history moves forward, it's crucial to remember the past, honoring both its heroes and its lessons. As decades passed, the world began to change rapidly. The Cold War tensions thawed, and the Berlin Wall, once a symbol of division, fell. Germany reunified, and the nations of Eastern Europe began their journeys toward democracy and self-determination. Yet, the shadows of the Eastern Front still loomed large. Monuments and memorials dotted the landscapes of Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, and other former Soviet states. They stood as silent witnesses to the sacrifices made and the lives lost. The younger generations, born long after the war's end, grappled with its legacy. They learned of their grandparents' heroics, the brutal battles, and the immense cost of victory. But they also confronted the darker aspects, the atrocities, the suppression of dissent, and the state's manipulation of history. Historians and researchers, now with access to previously sealed archives, delved deeper. They unearthed personal accounts, letters, and diaries that painted a vivid picture of the Eastern Front. Documentaries and films began to portray the war with more nuance and depth, moving away from the black and white narratives of the past. Surviving veterans, now elderly, were sought out for their stories. Their first-hand accounts provided invaluable insights, shedding light on the human aspect of the war. Their tales of bravery, fear, love, and loss resonated with people worldwide, bridging the gap between generations. The Eastern Front's legacy also influenced diplomacy and international relations. The horrors of World War II served as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked aggression and the importance of diplomacy. Nations sought peaceful resolutions to conflicts, with international bodies like the United Nations playing a pivotal role. In the end, the Eastern Front's lessons transcended borders and eras. It underscored the value of unity, resilience, and the human spirit. As the world moved forward, it carried with it the hope that such a devastating conflict would never be repeated. As the 21st century dawned, the Eastern Front's memories became more distant, but their significance remained undiminished. Technology and globalization brought nations closer, yet the lessons of the past served as a guiding light in an increasingly complex world. In schools across Europe and beyond, the Eastern Front became a central topic in history curricula. Educators emphasized the importance of understanding the causes, consequences, and human stories behind the conflict. Virtual reality and augmented reality experiences allowed students to step into the shoes of soldiers, offering a visceral understanding of the war's realities. Museums dedicated to World War II underwent transformations. Interactive exhibits, oral histories, and immersive experiences brought the Eastern Front to life for visitors. The aim was not just to educate but to foster empathy and a deeper understanding of the sacrifices made. International collaborations flourished. Joint commemorations between former adversaries became common, highlighting the shared history and the mutual desire for peace. Russia, Germany, Poland, and other nations held ceremonies, emphasizing reconciliation and the hope for a peaceful future. Yet, challenges remained. In some corners, revisionist narratives emerged, attempting to downplay or distort the Eastern Front's events. These efforts were met with resistance from historians, educators, and the general public, who recognized the dangers of forgetting or misrepresenting the past. The Eastern Front's legacy also found its way into popular culture. Books, films, and television series explored the personal stories of soldiers, civilians, and leaders. These narratives, while fictionalized, were rooted in historical truths and resonated with audiences worldwide. As the century progressed, the emphasis shifted from mere remembrance to active learning. The goal was to ensure that future generations not only knew about the Eastern Front but also understood its implications for contemporary global challenges. In conclusion, the Eastern Front's legacy is a living testament to humanity's capacity for both destruction and redemption. Its stories, lessons, and memories serve as a beacon, guiding societies towards a future built on understanding, cooperation, and peace. As we move further into the 21st century, the Eastern Front's echoes continue to reverberate in unexpected ways. The digital age, with its vast repositories of information, has democratized history. People from all walks of life can now access, interpret, and share stories from the Eastern Front, ensuring that its lessons are not confined to textbooks or academic circles. Genealogy websites and DNA testing services have enabled millions to trace their roots, often leading to discoveries of ancestors who fought or lived through the events of the Eastern Front. These personal connections have given the war a renewed relevance, making it not just a chapter in history but a part of individual family legacies. The rise of social media platforms has also played a role. Communities dedicated to preserving and sharing memories of the Eastern Front have sprung up. Veterans, their descendants, and history enthusiasts come together to share photographs, letters, and first-hand accounts, creating a digital archive for future generations. However, this accessibility also brings challenges. Misinformation and myths can spread rapidly, necessitating a vigilant and informed online community to counteract false narratives. The responsibility of preserving the truth about the Eastern Front is now shared by both historians and the general public. Cultural exchanges, facilitated by easier travel and communication, have furthered understanding between nations that were once adversaries. Youth exchange programs, joint art projects, and collaborative research initiatives focus on shared histories and the mutual desire for a world free from the horrors of war. Environmental initiatives have also been influenced by the Eastern Front's legacy. Battlefield preservation efforts not only protect historical sites but also create green spaces and wildlife sanctuaries. The scars of war, once symbols of destruction, are being transformed into havens of peace and natural beauty. In the broader geopolitical landscape, the Eastern Front serves as a cautionary tale. As nations navigate complex diplomatic relations, the importance of dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect is emphasized. The collective memory of the Eastern Front stands as a stark reminder of the catastrophic consequences of unchecked ambition and aggression. In essence, the Eastern Front's legacy is multifaceted. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the tragedies of war, and the enduring hope for a better tomorrow. As we face the challenges of the present, the lessons of the past provide both wisdom and inspiration, urging humanity to forge a path of unity, understanding, and lasting peace. As we move further into the 21st century, the Eastern Front's echoes continue to reverberate in unexpected ways. The digital age, with its vast repositories of information, has democratized history. People from all walks of life can now access, interpret, and share stories from the Eastern Front, ensuring that its lessons are not confined to textbooks or academic circles. Genealogy websites and DNA testing services have enabled millions to trace their roots, often leading to discoveries of ancestors who fought or lived through the events of the Eastern Front. These personal connections have given the war a renewed relevance, making it not just a chapter in history but a part of individual family legacies. The rise of social media platforms has also played a role. Communities dedicated to preserving and sharing memories of the Eastern Front have sprung up. Veterans, their descendants, and history enthusiasts come together to share photographs, letters, and first-hand accounts, creating a digital archive for future generations. However, this accessibility also brings challenges. Misinformation and myths can spread rapidly, necessitating a vigilant and informed online community to counteract false narratives. The responsibility of preserving the truth about the Eastern Front is now shared by both historians and the general public. Cultural exchanges, facilitated by easier travel and communication, have furthered understanding between nations that were once adversaries. Youth exchange programs, joint art projects, and collaborative research initiatives focus on shared histories and the mutual desire for a world free from the horrors of war. Environmental initiatives have also been influenced by the Eastern Front's legacy. Battlefield preservation efforts not only protect historical sites but also create green spaces and wildlife sanctuaries. The scars of war, once symbols of destruction, are being transformed into havens of peace and natural beauty. In the broader geopolitical landscape, the Eastern Front serves as a cautionary tale. As nations navigate complex diplomatic relations, the importance of dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect is emphasized. The collective memory of the Eastern Front stands as a stark reminder of the catastrophic consequences of unchecked ambition and aggression. In essence, the Eastern Front's legacy is multifaceted. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the tragedies of war, and the enduring hope for a better tomorrow. As we face the challenges of the present, the lessons of the past provide both wisdom and inspiration, urging humanity to forge a path of unity, understanding, and lasting peace. The Eastern Front, while rooted in the past, continues to shape the global narrative in profound ways. As we navigate an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting geopolitical dynamics, the lessons of the Eastern Front remain more pertinent than ever. In the realm of technology, artificial intelligence and machine learning are being employed to analyze vast amounts of data from the Eastern Front. These tools help historians decipher patterns, understand strategies, and even predict potential outcomes had certain events unfolded differently. Such insights not only enrich our understanding of the past but also provide valuable lessons for modern military and strategic planning. Furthermore, virtual reality (VR) experiences are being developed to transport users to key moments on the Eastern Front. These immersive experiences, while educational, also serve as powerful tools for promoting empathy. By virtually walking in the shoes of a soldier or a civilian from that era, individuals can gain a deeper appreciation of the sacrifices made and the complexities of war. On the geopolitical front, the Eastern Front's legacy plays a pivotal role in shaping diplomatic relations, especially in Eastern Europe. Countries like Ukraine, Belarus, and the Baltic states, which bore the brunt of the conflict, often reference the Eastern Front in their foreign policy decisions, emphasizing the importance of sovereignty, resilience, and the collective memory of wartime sacrifices. Cultural initiatives inspired by the Eastern Front continue to flourish. International film festivals, art exhibitions, and theater productions explore the myriad human stories from this tumultuous period. These artistic endeavors not only commemorate the past but also foster cross-cultural dialogue, promoting understanding and collaboration between nations. The Eastern Front's environmental impact is also being addressed. Efforts are underway to safely remove unexploded ordnance from battlefields, protecting both people and ecosystems. Additionally, reforestation projects aim to heal the scars of war, transforming battlegrounds into lush landscapes that support biodiversity and serve as symbols of renewal. In conclusion, the Eastern Front's influence is not confined to history books. Its ripples are felt in technology, diplomacy, culture, and the environment. As we move forward, it's imperative to honor the memories, learn from the mistakes, and harness the lessons of the Eastern Front to build a world that values peace, understanding, and shared prosperity.